What up, you weirdos? Dave here, and I love filler episodes. With that in mind, because I'm still on a technological struggle bus at the moment, let's talk about some knives that I don't actually care about, because I haven't done any research or homework for this one. So I have a pile of knives that I own, for a variety of reasons, most of them being that I was a child at the time and an idiot. So there we go. So I'm not proud of them. I don't particularly want them, but I have them for a variety of reasons. So let's get into them. First is a Smith & Wesson neck knife. I believe that this was originally corded, and I cut that off. It actually is a decent sheath. This and my... Ow! I just almost punched another knife. Smith & Wesson HRT. As I have revealed before, I spend a lot of time... That is the bladed side. I spend a lot of time Googling budget fixed blade knives or budget tactical or whatever. And these two blades end up showing up a lot. This one in particular, because it is dagger style with a false edge. Excuse me. So it is only single-sided, but it can very easily be ground the other way as well. So these are both, I have no idea what steel they are. I can't remember what price. I know that I bought both of these probably for around $10 for this one, $15 for that. From a local Asian market that used to sell knives as a side gig. Before I was actually legally able to, so that was cool. They never carded me. But these are both decent neck knives. And that's really all I have to say about them. So you will see them a lot on budget tactical knives, and Dave approves of that message. Throw those down. Where are we going next? Let's go chronologically, the next one. Because in the state where I am from, which WitPro will not permit me to reveal, the legal knife buying age is 18, along with cigarettes and lottery tickets and dry ice for some reason. So one day I went out and bought all 4 of those, and this was the first knife that I ever bought legally. It was... I think it was $20 at the time. It's a Monarch from Academy, a brand that they no longer carry. And I carried this thing for a good long while. It sounds snappy, but that's only because of a crappy pivot. Like, it was back when I thought it was cool to be able to flick a knife out. I didn't realize that that means that it's poorly made. So this knife, although I recognize how big of a piece of crap it is, for instance, their uneven grounding, you may be able to see that corner right there, and as you can tell, it's not on the other side. This is kind of the knife that started it all for me. This is the blade that got me very interested in knives. Now, I wouldn't go on to be able to do this, to build my collection and build my knowledge and whatnot, for many, many years. But this is kind of the knife that started it for me. So, even though it is objectively garbage, always has a warm spot in my heart for this. And for a long time, this was the sharpest knife that I owned. It's only in retrospect that I realize that's really just because of burring on the edge of the blade. That, oh, this is the knife that I first gashed that corner of my nail with. Because it's so sharp that the first time that I closed it, no, it was right there. I closed it on my finger because I was so unfamiliar with knives and how to use them that immediately cut myself. So this is the first blade to... It's not the first blade. It is the first blade that I have bought, that I have personally paid money for, that has tasted my blood. So that's interesting. Let's go with... This is a Schrade old-timer sharp finger. I think I got this from Tractor Supply. This is a blade style that I have always been super interested in, and I know that there are a lot of customs that do excellent jobs with this. My biggest issue with this knife in particular is, first off, the handle size. It is massive. As far as this is primarily intended for a skinner, but since I don't skin things, I want to use it as an EDC blade, and I can't, partially because the handle is so thick, and because this is a garbage sheath. Now, I have seen a bunch of custom workers who do custom sheaths for this, Kydex, for instance, actual real leather, horizontal carry type deals. And if you can, if you can find this blade style done well, absolutely pick it up. The sharp finger is very much a classic. It's probably the best thing that Old Timer does. This just happens to be a terrible example of it. Very, very cheap. Go next. Let's go with this. Is this the Gerber Freeman? The Gerber Game Guide? Something like that. I'm not real sure. I actually got this knife when I first started working with PVC pipes, because I bought a $15 heat gun and used to make things out of PVC pipe. So I made my own plates, I made my own cups, made a speaker system for my phone that I was really quite proud of. And I spent a lot of time watching videos of people who made PVC pipe sheaths for their knives. So I thought that I could do the same for this, but then it proved too difficult and I immediately gave up, because that's the kind of guy that I am. So what this is a fantastic knife. It's a little dirty from where I cut up my apple for breakfast this morning. Fantastic knife, very rubbery handle, excellent grip. The pommel's a little longer than I need it to be, but you know, this is built to wear with gloves. This is built for the field, for hunting deer, skinning, setting traps, whatever. But it just so happens to have a garbage sheath. This is actually the only knife of the style that I know that has a sheath like this, where it like tucks in and has a Mr. Sinister style cloak around the neck. I have no idea what that is about. So great knife, good knife. I don't know what kind of blade steel is on this, but it's a very good knife with a very garbage sheath. And that makes me sad, but I don't care about that. I think I still see this at Academy occasionally. So if you have experience with making your own sheaths, or if you have access to a custom, do it, because this could be a great knife for the field, even for EDC, possibly. But don't this sheath. Don't do it. Where we go next? Let's go with my M48. Ow! I just dropped it on my pinky, and that wasn't fun for me. This is from back when I thought that Bud K was the coolest website in the world. I window shopped this for months, and then eventually saw it in Academy for 20 bucks, and I bought it that day. Came home, started whacking a few things, and it immediately cracked. You probably can't see that, and that's fine, because this knife isn't really worth the effort. So this is kind of evidence of the fact of, hey, young pre-adolescent boys, I get that you think that you really like a thing, but it's possible that you like that thing because you're an idiot, in which case, stop liking that thing. The blade is unevenly ground. The saw on the back is garbage. It is about as sharp as Enter Politician here. This thing's garbage. The handle's trash. It's not full tang, I don't believe. Their logo kind of says it all. very soggy in the overdone skull and lightning bolts. Like, guys, shut up. It's AUC 8 stainless steel, AUC 8 stainless steel. So I don't know what that is, but I feel like it is the crippled cousin of Oz 8, possibly. Like not fully crippled, he can still get around, but not well. And it's made by United Cutlery, which I thought was the coolest thing at the time, but I now understand what it is that they do, which is not good things. So, the coolest thing in the world, this knife, and if you look on Budk, there are 100 knives of this style. Some that are Marine Corps, one shot, one kill, some sniper knives, some, survival, urban tactical, or whatever. And no. Absolute garbage. The next M48 knife that I have is something that is actually very important to me, because this, along with, this is Oz 8 steel, I know, because it says it. Unless I misread that. Nope, Oz 8 steel. These two knives are what has kept me sane and some nights alive for so long. In high school, I would do a lot of dog sitting. That's how I made the most of my money. And I would curl up on those people's couch with the dog at my feet and this in my hands, in the sheath, obviously. Because, I was sleeping in a strange place. I didn't know what was going to come through the door. So having this just in ready access to it, introducing me to the karambit, it gave me a wonderful peace of mind. This is the Double Agent 2 with a sheath that I'm not overly fond of, but a blade style that I absolutely love. Both of these I know for a fact are under $20 because that was the stage of my life that I bought them. The M48 Combat Toothpick, if you're looking for something to just make you feel better at night, this'll do the trick. This'll do the trick. So, M48 Combat Toothpick in cold steel. Actually, the first cold steel I ever owned. Double Agent 1 is... The Double Agent 1 is a true karambit. This is the Double Agent 2. Both of these get high recommends, depending on what you're intending to use them for. Now, I'm not sure how much space is on my phone, so if this video cuts out at any point, I'ma just leave it because I don't care enough. This is the Gerber Myth, I believe, and I made a terrible mistake in buying this just a couple of months ago. I think for like $30 or $40 from Cabela's. Don't get it, it's garbage. It's got a gimmick bottle opener, which means that you can't use it as a karambit. If this had a straight blade, a better handle, and not a crap sheath, then maybe, but it's absolute worthless trash. For instance, the spring clip does not hold this in your pocket or in your belt. So if you wear this on your belt and go to extract it, it'll just pull the sheath with it. To reiterate, Gerber Myth, or whatever this is called, worthless. Also, I think it's interesting that the branding is on the wrong side, so the Gerber label should be over here. That way, when you extract the blade, you can see it. But for some reason, it's not. I think that's funny. And also trash. This is a buck that I'm not going to talk about. I bought it thinking that you could switch the pocket clip, the belt loop, to face down, so you could get the pocket clip right here. But unfortunately, those little two holes right there mean that you cannot do that. So this is worthless to me now. I think I carried that in my EDC bag for a short while. This is a knife that I actually love. This is the Hyphenate with flat top V serrations. I do a lot of kayaking, and this stays in my life jacket. As you can see, I have a couple of Ranger bands around it. I will tie this on with paracord to my life jacket, and if I ever need to get out of anything, if it's an overnight trip and I need just to have a small blade on me on the campsite, this is what I carry. I love it. It is very cheap, not $15, but $20 max. Get it. Don't hesitate. Just go get it. Get you a little bit of paracord so you can pull it out in one motion. Fantastic. My favorite tiny blade. Then we come to my last two, which are the Kershaw Cinder and the Gerber Curve. The Gerber Curve, I actually have a page in my notebook. I've been planning on doing a review video of this, but I could not possibly care enough. It's fine, whatever, super gimmicky bottle opener. I think I paid $12 for this, which is ridiculously overpriced. That's about all I have to say about it. If you can find it for $5, get it, attach it to your bag. I actually have this clipped to my bag in my car, because that's about all that it's worth. This is the Kershaw Cinder, something that I made terrible fun of before I got it. I bought it because the Kershaw Torx tool, their Torx screwdriver, came in a 2-pack with this and the other knife for like $15, and that Torx screwdriver was worth it to me. So I got this by default. Like I said, gimmick bottle opener, it's stupid, but I think this is 7CR, 13 MOV. Tiny, tiny little blade, opens up for a nice finger choil, and I actually use this blade more than most. I keep this beside my bed, so if there's anything late at night that I need to cut, when I had braces, I would use this to cut the rubber bands out of my mouth in the morning, because I just wouldn't be able to get in there. It's a very small liner lock. It's good. It's good. I've seen this online for $7. Get it. I think I'm not sure what I said, the Gerber Curve, I bought this for $12. But if you can find this for $5 or $6, absolutely get it. A tiny little single-purpose blade has endless uses, and it's not something that you will know until you get in and play with it. So it's kind of billed as a keychain knife. I don't understand that. It shows way too much of the blade. I disagree with most design choices present in this, but that's all I have to say about that. If you have watched to the very end, you have seen 18 minutes of me ranting and raving about things that no one cares about, and I don't know why you've done that, but congratulations, here's an Easter egg especially for you. There you go. There's your Easter egg. If you have questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know down below. Hopefully I'll get back up and running at some point before my next having to do another filler video. If you have suggestions for other filler videos that I can do next Wednesday, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm not really sure, and I'll have to figure something out. Other than that, you beautiful, gorgeous people who have no idea what to do with their time, you have a great day. Bye.